Morning, YouTube. It's Friday. Off to work. So, just, figured I'd start doing maybe a semi-daily update, semi-daily vlog, whatever you want to call it. So, just because there's so much interest in this channel now, and who knows how long that will last. I mean, when this Lincoln contest is over, maybe people will run like rats off a ship, but that's okay. Anyway, just thought I would try to keep talking about myself and keep people informed about who I am and what I do. And I made the original 2-minute video for Tyler, and you can't get a lot in 2 minutes. So I got the very basic stuff. So kind of want to give you guys a quick rundown this morning of my history and who I am a little bit more. So far you guys know that I'm a part-time Uber driver, and I'm certified in mechanics. So today I'm going to give you a brief synopsis of my work history, and then we can maybe tomorrow, or tomorrow's Saturday, so maybe Monday I'll give you kind of a brief rundown on my previous hoopty history, because it is long and it is very in depth. So I can actually probably turn that into a series talking about all my hoopties I've had, and their attributes and how much fun they were. So anyway, and I'll just be honest, I never called them a hoopty. Here in North Carolina, a hoopty to us was like a conversion van, like a big, or like a, the town car probably fit the description of a hoopty, but here in North Carolina, if we saw a 1995 Grand Marquis with 22s on it, that would be a hoopty. So, for it to be a normal car that has 200,000 plus miles on it, or to be 25 years old, never really thought of that as a hoopty, but I can see where Tyler goes with that. So anyway, today, work history, what I'm doing now, what I've done in the past. So, graduated high school in the cusp of the millennium. Graduated in 2000, and right out of, I'm the kind of guy that I worked as soon as I could get a job, I got a job. So, in North Carolina, when you're 15, or maybe it was 14, I can't remember, they've changed it since then, but I believe it was 15 at the time, you could get a job part-time on the weekends. And so my first job was a bag boy at Winn-Dixie. And Winn-Dixie was, or still is, a supermarket chain, mainly out of Florida. I believe they're still in Georgia, maybe Alabama. But they were in North Carolina, but they've pulled back. They pulled back in probably the late 90s, early 2000s, they pulled back. So anyway, Winn-Dixie. And then I made a poor decision there and got let go, because 15-year-olds make wonderful decisions. But I made a poor decision there and got let go, asked to leave. Went to a little mom and pop grocery store in my hometown. Worked there for about a year. And in high school, I was part of a business entrepreneurial class, and one of the things they wanted you to do was a co-op. And for you who don't know what a co-op is, or maybe you think a co-op is something that you do with a farm, and it is, it's where I went and worked for a business, a real honest-to-goodness business, and they graded me, the owners of the company or whomever graded me on my performance and all that. So I went to work for a company called Capital Fasteners. And I'm trying to get a better non-sun shot here. Capital Fasteners was based in High Point, North Carolina, and we sold literally nuts and bolts. And that place taught me so much. I worked there for a couple of years. Great company to work for, great group of people. They got bought out by basically a money market account, Money Guys. They bought us and a bunch of other fastener places, and they tried to start a logistics chain. That didn't go so well. I got let go, laid off. That company went on to be bought by GE, so I kind of sort of wish I was still there. But while there, I moved my way up through the ranks and eventually became a salesperson for them. And it was a great job, and I loved it. And it really honed my people skills. So anyway, after that job laid me off, the best thing for me to do was to go to college, because I took a couple years off from school, and I thought, well, now's my time, because if I don't go to college now, I'm never going to college. So I went to a local technical college and got my degree in applied science, which was the Ford automotive program. So part of that program was you got a job at a dealership and did a co-op at the dealership. So I got a job at, unfortunately, a lot of the guys that were in my class, basically, they worked at a dealership before they joined the program, so they already had a job lined up. I was one of the few people who joined the program without having a job at a dealership. So I had to go basically to the smallest dealership in the area, which was a little mom and pop dealership in Lexington, North Carolina. The Ford dealership there. And, you know, it was a good place to start out, but it was very slow. They didn't have a good business as far as customer base, because, you know, you were just in the area where people would go to the big city dealerships in Winston or High Point before they would go to your small town dealership. So anyway, I worked there for a number of years, and then the recession hit. 2008 recession, and new car sales tanked, used car sales tanked. We did have the cash for clunkers thing, which was just a travesty in my opinion, because I saw all these cars that I would love to have had get crushed, and you couldn't buy them. Like, the dealership would give you whatever, $2,500 for it, or the government would give you $2,500 for it, and then we literally had to crush them. I mean, there were vehicles that were perfectly running conditions, but, you know, they got 10 miles to the gallon, so people traded them in for cash for clunkers, and I'm sitting there drooling at these beautiful, you know, XJ Cherokees, Jeep Wranglers, Ford Explorers, just beautiful cars that nothing was wrong with them, but these people were so desperate to get out from underneath them that they traded them in for cash for clunkers, and we had to crush them. So anyway, I had a buddy who delivered furniture, and I won't name the name of the company, but it's the world's largest furniture store if you ever want to Google that. And by God, it is. It's 1.7 million square feet of furniture showroom space. But he delivered furniture for him, and he made good money, and the dealership was tanking at the time. So he said, hey, come over here, work for a couple years, pay off your tools, pay off your car, pay off your motorcycle, pay off your blah, blah, blah. And it was a very short-term plan. So I went to work there for what ended up being 10 years. Pretty close to it. I think it was like 9 years and something. And I traveled all over this country. I've been to almost every state except for, of course, Alaska and Hawaii. And then there's some very, very outlying New England area states that I just never got to. Rhode Island and Massachusetts. But other than that, I've been to every state in this country, in the continental country. and met a lot of awesome people, saw a lot of amazing things that I never would have seen, a lot of small towns in the middle of nowhere, just very Americana, and just was a fantastic experience. And that's why I stuck with it longer than I probably should have, is because it was such an awesome experience. And it really also, I mean, my people skills came into play, and it helped me hone that. And hey, look at that. As a matter of fact, the Lincoln Continental came from my little Podunk Ford dealership. So I did that for a long time. And then my present employer, I met him at dinner one night, and he was an independent guy, and he was a representative for component factories to the furniture industry. I knew furniture from working delivering furniture, and I had the people skills. And I wasn't interviewing or anything. I just sat down and we had dinner, and he called me about probably a week or 2 weeks later and said, "Hey, can you come in and talk to me? I want to just talk to you about something." Sure. So went in, no harm. Went in to talk to the guy, and he offered me a job. So that was about 3 years ago, and I've been doing OEM sales to the furniture industry ever since then. And I will get into that in depth in another video, how that works, because it's a fascinating situation that I never knew existed. So, but in the last year, I've started Ubering just to supplement my income, and that's where these videos started. So anyway, thanks for the views. I'll do another video kind of explaining more of that. So y'all have a great day.